Holly's here. Holly, hold on, honey. Hold on a second. Trying to get us on YouTube. Facebook won't allow us to stream there. Hey, at least I have you now.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, we're live on YouTube. Facebook won't allow us to stream there. So,
Okay, perfect.
First of all, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm nervous because I don't know what the problems are we're having, you know?
I have no idea. The link that I clicked on for some reason declined me as a guest. So I don't know what that was about either.
All right. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to talk about health, right? That's the premise of the show. And
Yes.
I don't know where you want to go with this, but I want to start it with a positive note. Anything we talk about, we're not advising anybody to do. This is our own personal reference or people that we've talked to or people that we've dealt with, but we're not advising anybody to do anything. Just listen, be informed, and learn.
Correct.
Okay. That's the disclaimer. Okay, Holly. So I'm excited because I know that you might bring a lot here to what we're talking about.
Sure.
Did you want to start?
Happy to know. Okay, so as far as health, the definition of health, I think that the very definition of health is not just physical. The definition of health is in all areas. Health isn't just, drinking a smoothie. In my generation, let's just say after you run, you drink a smoothie or you drink a green tea, something like that, It's not just about that. It's about the words that you say. It's about a mindset and it's about your soul and the placement of that. So health is not just holistic. Health is, it's not just a prerequisite. It's a lot of things. It's a natural state and overall being of the body, soul, and spirit. So that's what I have to say. What about you?
I totally agree. It's everything in one. It's not just like you said, it's not, you can take all the supplements you want, but if you don't eat healthy to take the supplements, you're not going to get all the nutrition your body needs. And then of course you're going to have problems. If you don't do the exercise or whatever you need to do, at least walk a little bit, get some oxygen flowing or something like that.
Yes.
You're right. Everything is working in tangents. It's like a fulcrum. It all works together like a clock. So
yes.
you don't do one thing, then one thing suffers and it compensates. And the body tries to compensate for it. And unfortunately it can't because it can only compensate so much.
Yes, absolutely.
So with that said, what are the best health perspectives that we can give people? In other words, how should they start their day, a normal day? What do you do for a normal day?
What do I do for a normal day? Well, I get up, I make sure something positive, whether it be a Christian network or a great song. It's not always a Christian song. It's not always, worship, that kind of thing. It sometimes can be like jazz or soft music or just something upbeat, something positive, something that gets in your, gets in you. It gets in your internal and it makes you jump. It gives you good energy. It makes you excited about your day. So what I start with is that I get up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run. I don't just always go for a smoothie and I don't just always go for like cereal with cuts of this healthy stuff in it, blah, 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 blah. You're going to run. And what you're going to do is when you run, you basically have to, or you don't always have to run. Sometimes you can just do hard exercises. I recommend a lot of cardio that gets the heart pumping fast. You can walk and do cardio as much as you can run with it. I'm not biased to running. I'm not biased to any sort of, exercise or piece of gym equipment, like, the treadmill, things like that. You can run, you can do any sort of exercise, but always, what I would suggest, and I would never tell someone that I wouldn't do myself, is this: always push yourself. Each day, push yourself. Do something that you've never done. whether it be aerobics, whether it be, and have fun with it. You know, do jump rope one day, test yourself, test your flexibility level, and that really puts you on a higher note, in a higher level, on a higher heartbeat. Your heart has to race at some point during the day. You have to get excited about something. So
Yeah, and then I hear too, the other thing about that is a gradual aggressive way to do it. I don't know if that works.
yes.
It when you're kind of, if it depends on your age and the
Mhm.
problems you have, because I know a lot of people that have a lot of health issues, and I don't want to say be aggressive with them, but I want to say kind of slowly, gradually get into them, and
Yes.
then once you're into them, then be more aggressive as you go.
Yes.
Does
Yes.
that make more sense?
It does. It does actually. And I think that's the best way to go. A lot of people just want to jump into it, jump into things. And it really, it's kind of like when you run without stretching, you're gonna really test your luck on that. You're gonna test your luck at gradual. I love what you're saying about gradual. Just ease into it, because it makes, I know goals that people set. A lot of my friends have diets that they have say I have broken because it was too high for me that week. And I just broke it. I broke the calorie intake, or I just broke it because of this, or because of some little silly thing that we build up in our minds, so gradual is definitely the key. That's good.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, all right. So we got that out of the way. Now, what are the nutritional things that they can do, say, before their breakfast, with breakfast? Can they have like a health bar? Can they have a smoothie with breakfast instead of breakfast? Can they have it with breakfast? And I say, have everything. Have whatever you want. Have a banana. Have a health bar. Then have a breakfast drink that's going to be soothing to you, because everybody likes something different.
Right. Absolutely. That's a really good question. Here's the deal. I'm not going to torture anyone right now, but I'm not going to answer it. And the reason why I'm not going to answer is because I'm going to tell a personal story, and I'm going to let you all be the judge of your diet. I'm not going to sit here like I'm a nutritionist expert at all. Yeah. So one of my friends, she got out of college, great, went all the way. What she said when she was in college was the longest season in her life, because her professor just completely stretched her in the diet plan, because they had an argument one day when they were in class, and this argument was, you can't just eat anything you want. Her professor disagreed with her. Let me tell you why. What he said was, and I if she's out there, hello to you. You taught me something great. So basically, he said, it's not about what you eat. It's about how consistently you eat it. And that blew all of those college students' minds completely. I mean, just blew them. They had a debate over it. The whole class was just canceled because of that one sentence. And so they just dragged it out. They spent the entire rest of the class just debating about it. And he said, okay, I'm going to prove it to you. You guys are not listening to me. I'm going to prove it to you. So for the next month, not week, not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, for the next whole month, what he did, he said, I'm gonna show you guys this. All he did was, and listen to this. He went on a Twinkie diet, ate all Twinkies for every hour, just ate Twinkie after Twinkie after Twinkie for just hour upon hour upon hour. And he literally looked at his clock every hour, didn't miss an hour, not 1 hour missed. So he ate it. Well, they didn't go by the same. This was all his experiment. He was a lone ranger in this experiment. So whose experiment worked? Was it the college student or was it the professor's? Obviously, the professor won. Why? Because he said it's about gradual, and it's about sticking to what the body knows, but it's also about the metabolic intake, and just, now, did he do exercises and things? Probably, but he shifted his diet, but it worked, needless to say. So what am I saying? Nothing works, and then everything works. You can't just put a diet out there. You can't just put in, oh, I went on this, I went on that. Every plan, I love every plan. I love every diet plan. If that's worked for you, that's worked for me, great. I would encourage that. But it's all about personal gain, and it's all about metabolic needs, and it's all about the timing, the gradual, like you said, gradually going into it. He didn't shell shock his body by specifically going in Twinkie. No, he said, I'm gonna do an experiment. He prepared for it. So
Yeah, it's kind of like the keto plan where you load up on the carbs, and I've done this too. Load up on the carbs, and then 2 months just, or 1 month, don't eat hardly anything, and
yes,
you're just eating basically, greens and stuff like that.
yeah,
Problem is
yeah,
you crave the carbs. You always
yes,
crave carbs.
oh yes.
What are the significant things in a diet that we can stop people from eating so many carbs? Because we know carbs are bad for us, but there are carbs that are good for us, and we do need the sugar content somewhat.
Mhm. I think what people can avoid is, I've heard of a lot of congestive heart failure and things like that. A lot of disease in the heart. I would know this. A personal relative of mine got in was taken into the hospital twice because of this. It's not just about one thing. You can cut back on carb. You can cut back on sugars. You can cut back on this. You can cut back on certain things. They say smoking even causes that. I agree and I disagree on that. I think smoking is the majority. It's not. Let's just face it. It's not healthy. It's a lot of plaque in it.
The contributor, exactly.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff is in that. It's definitely discouraged. But at the same time, it's also what you monitor, what you pay attention to. I know people have horrible diets. They'll live till they're 100. That's the reality for them. And then there's, so like I said, just cut out breads, cut out pastas whenever you can. Don't completely cut them off, because I can tell you there's also a diet out there called the all vegetable diet, where you eat, spinach and green beans and all these good greens, all these natural earth, supplements, and then the body just balloons back. We gain all the rest of it back. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, again, a lot has to do with metabolism, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's got, when there's no more fat to burn or no more wood to burn, what does the body do?
Yes.
It plateaus. It can't go any further.
No.
So a lot of times people then give up. That's the people where they give up and just like, I can't do this diet. I can't do this anymore. And they go back to eating.
Right.
Number one, what
Right.
their mind was saying was, let's eat the way we were eating before, because we had no change anyway. So
Right.
they're craving all the foods that cause them to go to this diet. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, are you better off? Now, here's the other question. Are you better off not going to a diet and just eating healthy the best way you can? Like have a dessert every now and then, or have pudding, because I heard that pudding actually very, very low carbohydrate, because it's a complex carbohydrate, but it's a simple complex carbohydrate. It's not like cake. Cake is like sugar, flour, water, and an egg, whereas pudding is usually just flour and water and something like that,
Right.
or an egg, but there's no sugar, a lot of sugar in it. So when you look at that, it's what you choose, the times you choose too, right? Because you can eat at 9 o'clock at night and go, why am I gaining all this weight, when you could have stopped at 6 o'clock at night?
That's right. That's right.
Just ate a couple snacks.
Yes.
So we have ideas for people. We just have to implement them and make them understand that it's not only the way they eat, it's the time they eat and the portions they eat. So everything is a contributing factor. Don't you agree?
I do agree. Now, it's not encouraged to eat. I've heard that for the longest time. It's not encouraged to eat past 7 or 7:30. Yeah, exactly. And I've never met someone that affected. I literally never met someone, even though the research came out, I never actually met someone, hey, yeah, guess what? I cut my meals, past 7, and guess what? I lost like 20 pounds. I mean, Oprah, and that's great. I encourage her to keep doing that, and I encourage her. I encourage her to keep on speaking out about that and whatever works for her. But some people, it's just not reality, And so it's all about one body to another. It's
Right. And that's a good point, that it's because we're not all cut the same.
Yes.
Everybody's got a different blood type, metabolism
Right.
type.
Right.
And everybody has a different food choice of what they, or nationality, what they grew up with. So
right.
If you take everything into consideration, you really have to design a diet that's specifically for you, not a diet, but an actual plan that you can start living normally, eating healthy and feeling good about yourself, but at the same time doing it at a good time, low portions, not a lot of sugar, not a lot of fat, and at the same time get the nutrition you need. You can do all them points and check all them boxes. That's perfect because it's designed just for you. That's the way it should be.
Right, right. And what also works, and you're completely right. I completely agree with that. What also works is this: if you're not hungry, don't eat. Don't torture your stomach. What I've come to find out, and you've probably found this out too, everyone, the majority of humanity has probably found this out. Anytime you're sitting down, anytime it's okay to be wrapped up in conversation. It's okay to get caught up and to eat. But when you're with those guests where they love their food, and that brings out the side of you, the foodie side of you that loves your food, and you eat and you eat and you eat, just remember that you don't have, in other words, you don't have to be nice by finishing your plate if you don't want to. Right. I know so many stories. I've had that myself, don't finish that plate if you don't want to. If you do want to finish it, sure, be mindful, and then maybe walk around your neighborhood, or maybe do a walk just to clear your head. Like I said, it's about the condition of the soul. What the stomach had, the mind may have to process, and it may have to the mind may have to process by walking some space just to recall things. And Correct. Just so just exert is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to finish all of it, all or nothing. You don't have to be so radical at the dinner table.
So let me ask you this about when you do this and you change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Say eating. Do you change the foods so much, or do you just change elements of different things? See, I think that if you change elements in a gradual way, it's better just saying, oh my God, I can't eat this anymore.
Right.
Because you don't want to deprive yourself of the food, because then you're going to get into the hunger mode, and metabolism is going to say, oh my God, I need more food. I need more food.
Yes.
Bring more food. And then you're going to go back either to where you were or worse than where you were.
Yes. I think that's exactly it. Your body does crave that. What I was going to touch on for just a second there, this thought came to me as we were talking about carbs and things like that. Get your tongue in the taste of a certain thing. That's very important. You may say, well, I'm not, the reality of it is I love, let's just say, take example for myself. I love vegetables. I don't know if you love vegetables. My brother,
I do. I love vegetables.
You love vegetables. My brother does not like them so much as I do, right? So I'm going to have the taste for them because I've always had the taste. My brother does not have the taste so much. He has for certain things. So let's just say for that diet, let's just say the reality of it is he's not going to taste those. And so it's not going to be so easy for him to stick to that certain diet plan because he didn't have the taste for it.
Right. You're forcing him to eat something that he doesn't really like or want.
Let your body, make your body, would rather say, make your body taste something that's good. I'm not saying you have to go radical, but gradually get the taste for something. So that's good.
Very, very good choice. So, all right. So we covered that. Now, should we cover medicines?
Sure.
Let's talk about the medicines that people eat that affect their diet.
Okay.
Some of them are sugar pills, diabetes. And I'm not going to sit here and say that they shouldn't take them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying look into alternatives to find out that if you really, really need them, if your doctor thinks you really need them, then take them if you feel comfortable. But
Absolutely.
what I think happens with the medical society, and this is just my point, this is just my opinion, they look at everything as we'll fix it, but we can't fix the underlying cause. We'll only fix what's on top, like the cut on the wound. We don't know where the wound's coming from. So we're just gonna, put a band-aid on it. And if the wound comes back, we'll put another band-aid on it. That doesn't fix the problem. So with medicines, I always say to people, seek alternatives out for what you're taking and find out if they're a good fit for you. They might be a better fit for you. No side effects. Number one. Number two, they may make you hungrier, but they may make you eat better stuff.
Yes.
It may change your palate, your taste buds change.
Right.
Because everything that was natural to you before will become natural again.
Yes.
So if we can align people to eat healthier and take less medicines and feel better about themselves, I think that's a good part of being healthy.
Right.
Right.
Yes. I definitely think that is a great part of it. What people can do, and I'm going to add further into that, they can be mindful of what they're doing. Let's just say you're really, this pandemic, and I'm not going to mention it because of controversy. Now I'm going to say it as a state of example. I'm not here to stir anything up. I'm here to help us to be more mindful like you are. So during this pandemic, everyone was aware. They were more aware. They were more aware of colds. They were more aware of sneezing. They were more aware of, allergies. They were more aware of everything that you could do, within 6 inches apart, and even touching each other, linking arms and touching each other,
Right.
The germs, things like that. So what I found a lot, what my family did, we drank with our water. We put a little peppermint oil in our water.
Yep.
Yeah. So we used to, we would drop one, we would drop one droplet of peppermint oil in our water. And then what happened? Well, we upped our dosage of it. Well, what does that mean? Instead of just one droplet, you're going to have to put 3 if you're feeling kind of weird that day. So what happened at that point? Well, you're not only drinking your peppermint water and you're finishing all that, you still have to stay hydrated. So what you're doing is you're drinking water and you're really intaking more and you're being more aware. So just things like that. I'm not saying I'm telling go drink peppermint or go drink peppermint oil in your water now. No, it's just awareness, like you said.
I love and here's the thing, I love peppermint water. What you've said, I've tried, and I love doing that because you're right. You can keep adding to it because you build up a tolerance to anything that you take, right? Whether it's a drug or whether it's a thing of water with peppermint, because then your taste gets changed. So you want more and you want more and you want more. Sometimes use less, sometimes use more. But that works with everything you do in life. That's not just food and health. Mm-hmm. Jobs and things that you do just around the house, will end up being like that. The more you do, the more you want to do.
Sure.
Because you finally see your accomplishments. So the body works the same way. When you start feeling healthy, doing the things that you're talking about, and people are realizing that, they always look for, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? Well, like we talked about it before, but the mind is probably the biggest part of dealing with a person that's either trying to eat healthy or on a diet. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you get the mind associated with what you want to do? How do you get to that same level?
That's a really good question. I'm glad you're actually opening up the floor about the mind. So mind is habitual. The mind is basically just a machine. And if we can train it the way we should, then that's the goal. Now, notice I said should instead of do. We train it how we could, but we're not how we should, right? Right. We don't read every type of book. Instead of a book, most of us really only want to read the newspaper and find out what we want to, 5 minutes, what's convenient, whatever. It's just like microwaving something, instead of actually putting a pot on the oven, we heat up in the microwave, right? Conveniency. So conveniency tells us in the brain, the body is operating out of conveniency. Well, the brain is learning nothing at that point. So what you want to do with the brain? Well, with the brain, you want to stretch the brain. What does this mean? It means you want to get new habits. And I highly recommend Atomic Habits, that book. It will help you to figure out the reward in each habit that you do. See, a lot of people are not being rewarded for their minds, for their habits and their mindset. The mind, you test your mind. It's a brilliant tool. You put yourself on a habit for 30 days, let's just say, and you're going to be rewarded for that. Well, how? Because I've never been rewarded in the past for that. How? Well, it's just going to happen. And ask me how. It's just a reward. And even if you self-reward, it says this in Atomic Habits, if you have to self-reward, you're going to have to get a reward, and the reward will help you with that mindset.
No, you're right. That everything does work hand in hand with stuff like that. And the mind plays a critical role in trying to deal with people, trying to eat less candy bars or less soda. I mean, I recommend everybody right now, get off the sodas. They're diet sodas, they're really bad for you, really bad. And I can definitely say candy is probably the second thing, because that sugar and all the acid and all the garbage that you're eating, get off them for a couple days and see how you feel. And then when you see that you're feeling better, then you'll probably want to stay off them for a while, because the stomach problems will go away and all the other issues that sugar and that the acid that's in the soda. I think this. Now, we've said this years ago. The soda will actually eat the rust and paint off a car. So if it does that in a car, what's it do in your body? It's really not good for you.
Right.
I'm not an advocate for soda anyway. I mean, if people want to drink soda, that's on them. I leave that on them. But I drink water. I just drink plain water, and I thrive with water. My body, all bodies thrive with water, because why? We're 90% or 80% water, right? And that's because all our cells need the water. Now, do we drink water correctly?
Absolutely.
Do you drink water correctly?
Yes.
I don't know if anybody does, because you're supposed to sip it, right? And you're supposed to let it go through all the cells in your body to help hydrate everything in your body. Because if you're drinking it and you're just getting rid of it as waste, most of the time it's just going through you like you're turning a faucet on and it's going through. But if you're sipping it in a slow way, not guzzling it down or drinking a glass and then having another glass, that's not the way to drink water. I was told that years ago, that you drink it slowly. What do you think about that? You agree with that?
I do agree with that. And let me tell you this. Let me make a point here. Try drinking a soda and enjoying it like you did yesterday, right after you drink some peppermint oil. Not going to happen. I know that my brother, drinks it. One of my family members, they drank peppermint oil for 3 straight days when they thought they were feeling a little funny. Now, this was when COVID first hit. This was the heighten of the scare of the pandemic was already out there. He drank it. My relatives drank it for 3 straight days. And I did not see them within that month drink a solid Coke or Dr. Pepper and actually enjoy it. I said, what's going on? They said, I just doesn't taste the same. And I said, why? I said, well, I know what's going on. You had it after your peppermint oil and you don't like the taste anymore. So it's just the point. Now, am I saying everyone's cured, wean off of soda, is to go and have some peppermint oil and then go drink that soda to test it? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just to be mindful about the taste of the tongue, and being mindful to, after you drink that, I know this, and this, your body fluids and your body rhythm, and your skin, it will all come out like that, and you will feel lighter. Just certain things like that. Like you said, water intake. I don't know how many people actually fulfill the need of their water intake, but let me do this. When you drink the water, and you drink it like you and I are encouraging people to do, you feel different. You just do. No, I don't. Yes, you will. You will feel different. Okay. How about not? How about you look different? You don't feel different. You'll look different. How about that?
And look at your skin, how radiant you are. Look at how beautiful you are. So is there a certain regimen for the hydrating the skin that you do that you want to share?
Uh, Cosmeceuticals. They didn't tell me to do this, and they didn't pay me for this.
That's okay. That's okay.
Cosmeceuticals. I basically just myself facials once, twice. Don't touch your skin, please. Everyone out there, do not touch your skin. And if you have your hands right now from that, do not touch your skin anymore, because what's going to happen is the oils from it are going to go. The oils from your fingers, wash your hands. Wash your hands, continually wash them. Don't just wash them because of the pandemic. It's over. Good. I can go back because who has the time for 30 seconds straight to wash their hands like that and to do it that way? No, continue to do it. Let's wash our hands. Let's not touch our face. Let's touch our face less. Let's just hydrate, but also just go in that positive energy. Just smile more. Your soul will be lifted if you smile more.
I love that. Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, you know what? We've done almost a half an hour of the show, and I do want to get into some other things. I don't know if you want to. You're starting to break up a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the storms out here or the storms where you're at or whatever. But I wanted to talk about some of the medicines, some of the side effects that some of the medicines have. And I wanted to get into that with you if you want to.
Let's do it.
Okay. And I've talked to a couple friends that are in the medical community. One's a doctor and one's a nurse. And they've been in there not 30, 40 years, 50 some years. And their comment to me was, if the side effect is death, is it really worth it to take the drug? A lot of them say fatalities are possible. A lot of them say that, you'll have some major problems with your heart, your eyesight, your liver, your kidneys. Is that worth the risk for what people are suffering from, whether it's a skin condition or blood pressure or anything like that? Because yes, they're close to having problems now, but are they creating more problems by taking the medicine? That's what I want to talk about.
Right. I think a lot of medications, I'm just going to say right now, are not truly the recipient's need. And if I can say that, I don't know, I'm not going to get too much into the controversy of the pharmaceuticals. Yes, the pharmacies and the companies and all that. But I will say this, I don't feel like people are truly getting their intake of the proper medication. I think they're not truly monitoring that enough. I think they could a little bit better. I'm not saying that they're touching on their health. I'm saying they've examined it. They've gone to the exams. They've gotten it. They've gotten physicals. They've done that. They've gone through it. I'm saying I think that what people are doing is they're taking advice instead of not researching more on it. I don't see enough research on things. I don't know what generation is not researching out there. There are probably many generations who are not researching just simply because maybe the research is not out there. Maybe the material is not out there. But I would encourage this: read more on what you have. Don't be neurotic. Don't think that you have this. Don't think that you have that. Oh my gosh. Don't be moved by every wind of ailment that comes in the news and in the media. You don't have it. Chances are, if it hasn't come out in something, and if it hasn't come out externally, don't have it. So, yeah. But if you do and you see signs, please do the research before you get the exam. Do research and take care of your body before you get to the kind of conclusion, before you're prescribed. And then once you're prescribed, do research on that. Look at bottle. Pay close attention. I'm very close to a holistic doctor. They're brilliant. They said, what they told me was, they said they teach a class on this. Read that bottle. Read each capsule. Pay attention to the capsule. Is it the right capsule? Does the color on the capsule line up with what online is saying about it? Read up with that. Compare and contrast.
I agree with that too, because it's not just the
Yes.
pharmaceutical problem. It could be the
Yes.
pharmacy, the pharmacist, the
Yes.
person, doctor giving you the medicine, and the medicine for the right problem if it's going to fix it. Now, I don't have a problem with medicines if it's short term,
Right.
if you understand what I'm saying. Something
Yes,
so
I
your
do.
body can get back to where it needs to get, then you slowly, gradually get off the medicine. But a lot of these medicines are meant for lifelong subscriptions. And that's where that turns me off. I don't understand that. The body was functioning fine before the medicines. I can't see the body now having to take the medicine to supplement what was the body doing before. None of it has any common sense appeal to it.
Right.
And it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but the pharmaceutical companies making money from it, the doctors making money from it, and the pharmacies making money from it. That's fine. That's what business is about. But it's
Right.
how they do it. How they
Right.
do it. That's what I tried to fight. So when I look at some of these medicines like Dupixent and just a lot of different ones like Tralefor, whatever it's called, and I'm looking at all these side effects, and I'm like, why anybody would take this? I just can't understand it. I can't understand it. But when they talk to their doctor, the doctor usually says, "Oh, that only happens in certain people or certain cases." And then if they ask the pharmacist, "Oh, that's fine, you're okay." Well, was I fine taking 15 different medicines that all had interactions with one another, causing more problems? I don't know.
Right.
I don't think I was, but
Mm.
because I was on there for so long, 5, 10 years, 15 years, it's already done its damage. I don't know what
Right.
damage it's done. So my body's constantly trying to fight back, get good health, right?
Right.
And instead dealing with not only drug people and pharmacies, but I want to deal with my own. I'm going to be my own doctor. Who knows your body better than you? Because you're with your
Right.
body 24 hours a day. You see the problems that come out. You know when you have a pain in your side or any type of issue. You know, trying to get to a doctor or a hospital is hard enough. But
Right.
if you know the symptoms and you know what you're doing, you can pretty much talk to the doctor and say, this is what's happening at this time. Write a diary. I tell everybody, write a health diary. When has this happened before? Oh, it happened last Tuesday. Okay, is that every 5 days? Is that because of what you eat? Or is it because of what you drink? Or is it you doing
Right.
something? So
Right.
write a health diary. I recommend writing a health diary every day. So when you wake up in the morning to the night time you go to bed, how did you feel? Did you feel bad when you ate a certain food? Sometimes transit time takes a long time in your body. So you have to understand that every piece of food that you eat is it goes down a different way.
Right.
And sugars and carbs and pastas, they tend to bulk up and they stick around a while.
Yes.
And that's a problem that either older people have or people middle aged to have. And they can't figure out what the problems are. So write a health diary. Everybody that's out there,
Yes.
write a health diary. Start it today. I don't care if you're 90 years old. Start writing a health diary. Write down what you need and what you go through every day. So when you go to the doctor, you can say, this is what I've had. This is the problem. You don't have to go by memory. You go by what you wrote.
Right. Right. Agreed. Definitely.
And I think that's good for food too, right? Because now you're going to look at the food and you're going to say, oh my God, this food triggered me. It had to be this food because I had the same problem last time. So you will automatically start being your detective and knowing what foods are causing your problems if you're allergic to them.
Definitely.
And that's a simple thing. That doesn't cost anything to write stuff down or even put it in your phone, right? In your phone, you do it in your phone. So, wow, we covered a lot tonight.
That's good.
And I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Thank you very much for being here. So anything coming up for you?
Any last comments? Like you said, whatever's in your body, whatever habit that you have, it sticks in your body. I love that you said that. It sticks. Everything sticks. So just remember what you put in your body, gradually get off it. Do not go into shell shock. I know even the this keto diet, whatever. My gosh, if I had $1 for every person who went on that, I am not discouraging it. Go on keto if that's what you want to do. If it's getting the results for you, go for it. I will say this: do not move fast in anything. Do not move fast in anything because your body is going to go into a shock. I would not recommend that. I would recommend gradually going into something. Also, do a lot of I know that they say do cleansing, do cleans out, cleanings for your body, just like you said. A lot of carbs actually do stick. So just keep in mind that you don't want stuff in your body. I'm doing it right. When I was, in the first part of my life, I didn't do health. I didn't eat right. In the second part of my life, I got it right. Well, guess what though? People are still paying for it. I know a lot of people are still paying for it. I hope I don't have to pay for it. You hope you don't have to pay for it. Who knows who's paying for it? What's my point? Treat your body right. It'll treat you right. Make use of your internal and watch what's coming out of you externally in every area.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Once again, thanks, Holly, for being here. It was wonderful. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.